Click.
And we are live. All right. What is your first name?
Jessica Rabbit. No, I'm joking. Okay, Areon.
Oh, Ariane. Where are you from?
Muskegon.
Oh,
Muskegon Heights.
that's where you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How were your parents?
How were they?
Yeah.
Good.
Anything else you want to say about them, or just good?
Shout out my pops.
Cool. You had a good childhood.
I mean, I had my childhood pretty tight. A lot of people don't get that.
Is that how you describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to discuss what your parents do?
No, not really.
What do you do for a living?
Dope shit. A lot of dope shit. Music, art, anything to be creative. Doesn't really matter what it is.
Cool. What cars have you driven over the years?
First car was a Pontiac G6, and then I had a 2000 Impala, Chevy Impala, and then I had a Ford Escape 2016. Then I also had a 2007 Lexus ES350, which is my favorite car.
Cool.
Yeah.
How far did you go in school?
I have my bachelor's degree in business administration for management.
How did you get into your line of work? With you saying that you dabbled in a little bit of everything, how would you say you got into that environment?
Hyper focus. I get bored, so I read stuff, and then after I read stuff, I have an idea, and then when I have an idea, I just keep going. That's how I get into everything.
What kind of customers do you meet along your journeys?
Kind of depends on what it is that I'm working on. Typically, my favorite people to meet are those that are already on their own path and that want to do great things for the future of humanity, and not just those that are forced by their egos to do things.
What is the hardest part of your job for you?
Navigating between those that are actually there for what they say they are and those that are strictly there for the power and the acclaim, the fame.
What does your family think of your job?
They fuck with it.
Do you think in some ways you are following your parents' footsteps?
No.
Why do you say that?
Completely different lives. You know, I went to college. Have jobs.
What was the best time in your life? What was that?
What was? Pretty much every major moment. If it's something new that I've never done, then that was probably the best time at the time. So right now.
And what will be the best time?
Whatever I choose to make the best time. It's all a choice.
A lot of people would describe you as poor, but you'd think of you as rich, wouldn't you?
It just depends on what your definitions of the two are, and if they stop in the physical or if they continue into the metaphysical.
What makes you unique?
I'm me.
Do you remember anything about your grandparents?
Do I remember anything about my grandparents?
Yeah.
Not my grandfathers at all. My grandmothers, yeah. They're very sweet, very kind, very loving, very good cooks, and great hugs.
Do you have any children?
Never.
What are your happiest memories?
Happiest memory, going skydiving, stepping foot on campus for the first time, first time doing acid, and honestly, like graduating. Every time I finish a project or something that I've been working on that I kind of have to just like finish and get through it, that's like tough. It's like those moments are always the best.
What are your most painful memories?
Most painful memories, got arrested once for like a day. That sucked. That is a horrible feeling, having like handcuffs on. Got kicked in the chest while playing soccer as a goalie. That one right there really hurt. It was like out cold for like 10 seconds, but it felt like 5 years. It's kind of crazy. Indie
Favorite food?
steak, blackened steak, medium rare with asparagus, sweet potatoes that are mashed, probably some whiskey on the side.
Why? Why do you like it like that?
Just delicious. It's like the perfect combination of the sweets, the salty, and you get the bitterness from the whiskey. It's really nice.
Can you describe a horrifying experience in your life?
Horrifying experience, going skydiving. Like the earth and gravity exist for sure.
You said that was one of your most
Horrifying.
happiest moments.
Yeah.
So can you explain why it's both happy and horrifying?
Happy because like I didn't die, and it's so beautiful being up there. Horrifying because like the thought of like, holy crap, my entire life is in the hands of this random person that I just met 2 hours ago, who just folded up this parachute right in front of me, pulling a cord twice. Crazy.
What was the most proud moment of your life?
Most proud moment of my life, training my dog to lay down.
Who has shown appreciation for you?
Pretty much everyone. Everyone that I've ever met and worked with in any way.
Why do you think they do that?
I'm dope as fuck.
Do you want to share a dark secret?
A dark secret. No.
What was the most embarrassing moment in your life?
Most embarrassing moment of my life? That's a tough one. I'm not sure. I'm like pretty shy, so me doing stuff in general is already me like getting over the embarrassment part. So
What was the funniest moment in your life?
every moment. Right now it's pretty funny. Talking to a camera.
We can talk about it.
Talking to a camera right now.
You have to be honest with yourself.
That's like tough because like that requires me to like in terms of funniest moment, there's a lot of funny moments. Like everything's kind of funny when you start thinking about it. Like when you get past the fact that like we exist and the likelihood of us existing are equally infinitely high and infinitely low. It's like kind of hilarious that we're even here and then doing the stuff that we're doing in the first place. It's like everything's kind of a joke. So every second of every day is kind of hilarious.
Did anyone bully you in school?
I think people try to, but I bullied them back. I'm pro bullying. Just like, don't be an asshole, you know? If you're gonna dish it, you gotta take it.
How does it make you feel?
Fantastic. I took it, I dished it, we're good. Never go against like, you know, never go for the underdog or anything. Like only attack those that attack. Like besides that, just be passive.
What do you think the meaning of life is?
Living.
What do you think of life in general?
A drag. Can't believe it.
What do you think of the universe?
Shout out to everything in the universe, honestly. It's interesting. It is. That's what I think of it.
Do you think there's a God?
If there is a God, then I feel like I'm him, you're him, we're all him. Or her, you know, they, them.
So would you say you're religious?
No.
Why?
Religion really never served me that well. I never needed to look up to a specific way of living and rules to follow. I abide by the rules that I choose to abide by, and currently those rules kind of have to do with the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, because I'm in the US, and universal rules that just seem like the best way to go. Not impeding on other people's stuff, not ruining anything for anybody, you know, just being a good person, like treat others how you would, kind of like on a yin yang kind of deal.
Have you found love?
Yeah,
Does a person love you back?
probably.
What did you like in school?
What did I like in school? Which school? High school?
You start with high school.
High school. High school, I really liked PlayStation, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. I'm talking like back in 2012 to 2016. Not the new stuff. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, my clan in those games, my friend group, Saucy Gang, shout out to them, Andrew, all of you guys. In the beach, water, sand, nature, campfires, and band, traveling for band, really fun.
What about middle school?
Middle school, I'm not really sure what I like. I think I like being bad in middle school, like getting like in trouble, calling out teachers, calling out people, you know, making a statement, showing people like what's up, because yeah, middle school, nothing really matters in middle school. You know, you gotta figure yourself out.
Yeah. What about, do you do anything after high school?
Oh yeah, after high school, what stuff do I like now? Basically, pretty much just creating stuff. Not really much has changed. Like other things, you know, my enjoyment of nature and traveling has really just grown to become more all-encompassing, to allow for me to enjoy more of the smaller things, not just the huge things. I think the more smaller things you enjoy, the better. So now I kind of just enjoy everything.
So reflecting back, did you have a favorite teacher?
Favorite teacher, Mrs. Wiegand, because I remember her name. She was my biology teacher, even though I failed biology twice. Fantastic person.
Did you hate any teachers?
Mr. Gerst, can I flick him off from this?
Prefer if you didn't.
Okay. Mr. Gerst. Brian Gerst. You suck.
Why?
Horrible person.
What made him horrible?
Targeting. You should not target people when you're trying to teach them, or should be teaching them.
What do you mean by targeting?
Targeting. Yeah. There's a lot of nuances with everything. So being a person in position of power, especially one that's supposed to be giving equal access and equal treatment to all people that you are in charge of, you should not mess that up. You should not switch it up. You should not follow any kind of like religious views or political views or anything like that. There should be nothing that is blinding your judgment. So targeting.
What is your biggest goal in life?
Biggest goal. I want to own like a state, like enough land to be like, yeah, Texas could fit inside of all that land. You know,
Why?
I like land. Can't really do anything without having the land.
What do you think of the world and its problems?
They're bigger than any one person, but they're not bigger than, you know, maybe a group of people.
What do you think of the people in the world?
Pretty cool. I love everybody in this beautiful, fantastic world.
What are your earliest childhood memories?
Early childhood memories, I I skateboarded once, and I got stung by a bee on my nose while riding the skateboard, and I fell off the skateboard onto my head and like messed my whole head up. Like in the same day that I also skidded my arm. So I got stung by a bee, had a skidded arm, and a messed up head. That was like fantastic memory, crazy, you know. No ER or anything like that, just like, you know, nice little doctor up, get some peroxide or whatever, clean it up. It's one of my favorite memories.
What drugs have you done?
I have not done heroin or crack. Everything else, though, yeah. Like here, let's list them out. All right, weed, best drug. Alcohol, caffeine, mushrooms, psilocybin, various versions of it as well. DMT, acid, LSD specifically. Xanax, horrible drug. Cocaine, fantastic if it's pure. Honestly, should really be legal if pure. Adderall. Did I miss anything? MDMA, Molly, ketamine. I think that's it. I don't know. Tobacco, nicotine. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Have you had any major accidents?
Nothing like in terms of my body getting messed up. I've crashed a car once, so
When was that?
probably 2017, 16. Pontiac G6, spun out of control, first car. Shout out to Black Ice, middle of winter.
Where have you visited?
Every state in between Michigan and Georgia, every state between Michigan and Texas, Colorado, Arizona, California, Washington, DC and the state, Virginia, Maine, everything except for like New York in that area, basically.
Do you have a big takeaway from traveling?
Yeah, everything's kind of similar everywhere, and nothing is the same, unless you want it to be, But no matter where you're at, the exact same stuff still exists. Nothing really changes. It might look different, might sound different, might smell different. There's no differences in how it works.
And how do you process emotions?
How do I process emotions? I think that thinking about processing emotions is kind of odd. Like I think that like the less thought you give to it, the better. Like just letting them free flow. But being able to rein them in is also important because it doesn't really help anybody to get completely upset unless it's worth being upset about, You should always be able to control it, but letting them still flow. So I guess I process them like a dam, opening and lowering the floodgates, depending on when it's most appropriate for whatever's needed.
Fight or flight?
Fight.
Why?
Why fly? That's really it.
How do you eat?
Good.
Do you have a diet?
No. I don't drink pop.
Do you have any special genetics?
Special genetics
Yeah, features or benefits as well.
with benefits?
Do you have any special genetics, features, or benefits?
20/20 vision. I'm not really sure. No allergies. So I guess like the lack of problems that I actually have to deal with is pretty low. So I think that's pretty special, but never done like a DNA test to see what genes I specifically possess or don't possess for certain traits, certain diseases. Kind of just a raw dog in life.
What inspires you?
Myself.
Why?
I'm really like all I got. I think that everybody's kind of all they have. So if you were put inside of a box with yourself for like X amount of time, how long would you be able to last? Like if you can't last, then you need to like look deeper within yourself and figure that out. But for me personally, throw me like on an island in a box anywhere, just me, nothing else at all, I think I'll be okay.
Do you have an inner monologue?
Do I have an inner monologue?
Yeah,
Like voices in my head?
correct.
Kinda? I don't know.
How would you describe it?
Like my voice if I was 60 talking to myself. And sometimes my voice if I was like very hype, just depending on like the emotion or whatever the context may be. But very chill. A lot of reverb.
What imaginations do you have?
Imaginations. Kind of everything. I can probably describe most things that I could talk about in some form or fashion. but normally it kind of doesn't suffice because the words don't do the pictures and images justice. So they're more visual, less auditory.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Favorite subject in school? I don't know. I don't think I had one. Like thinking now. Chemistry. Chemistry's dope. Very difficult. Never had more than a B plus, but always kind of made sense.
Overall, how well did you do in school?
Good enough to get through it without being held back. I think that's all that really matters. 4.0 GPA, 2.0 GPA, same degree, same job.
What do you learn more about?
What do I learn more about?
Yeah.
Whatever interests me.
Do you have a favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert, cheesecake or pie. Almost any kind of pie.
What other treats do you like?
Cookies, chocolate, brownies, dark chocolate specifically. Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as an indecisive person or a decisive person?
Indecisive because I couldn't decide that.
Do you plan for everything?
No, not at all.
Explain.
I go through life like water. Like there's very minimal structure, but the structure's still there.
So, if you're going on a trip, how would you plan that?
How long is the trip? Step one, time frame.
All right, let's say a month.
A month? I probably plan it out based off of what the goals of the trip are. Let's say it's leisurely travel. First week would probably be me just visiting, getting a feel for the area. Second week, I'd probably be hitting up all the tourist attractions, getting really, really drunk, high, whatever the case may be, exploring. Third week, maybe doing bigger long-term experiences, maybe camping or something. Last week, getting ready, going to my favorite places again, revisiting the spots that I really enjoyed, and then packing up. So I'm never rushing.
In the past, what have you brought on your trips?
Enough clothes for exactly that amount of time. My computer, my chargers, all chargers, cash, 2 or 3 pairs of shoes of different varieties. Just basic travel necessities.
Do you have any memories that stick out?
Of travel trips?
Yeah.
Speakeasies in Washington, D.C. are very fun. Also, traveling to Miami. There's no way to get bored in Miami unless you live there for more than a few years or you're poor. Or may I say broke. You know, you need to have some money while you're there. But those places definitely stick out the most. Colorado probably has like the best free entertainment because just the mountains, just the energy in the air there is spectacular.
When it comes to the people, have you met any interesting people along the way?
Yeah, every day. I met interesting people at Starbucks yesterday working there, and they were just having a hard time with the whipped cream. Pretty interesting, you know.
Has anything bad happened on your trips?
I've had somebody lose a car. Been locked out of my place before. Weird conversations on a phone with no service at a festival. You know, the bad things happen all the time. It really just depends on like how bad. Nothing life-changing bad. More so bad in like the immediate hour.
And do you have any funny stories?
Any funny stories? Off the top of my head, no. But plenty.
Do you laugh a lot?
Laughing right now.
Do you like to laugh?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, what's the other option? You know? Like, what? No, like, come on. Like, no.
Do you like to cry?
Not very fond of it, but also don't really experience it enough to dislike it.
When would you say the last time is that you cried?
It's May. Maybe a couple months ago. Don't really keep track of that.
Is there any secrets you'd like to share about your life without endangering yourself or anybody else?
Impossible.
Who are your friends?
My friends are whoever I'm around at the moment. Whoever's benefiting me and I'm benefiting them, and there's nothing else that's holding them together.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
Do you stay in contact?
Yeah, we see each other every week. What up, X?
What do you think of the military?
What do I think of the military? I'm glad that we have the best one, the biggest one, most expensive one.
Do you like your country?
The United States of America.
Yeah.
Sorry, the United States. You know, I'd move if I could. But I do also like how it's ran a little bit, you know. Like, if you need to make money, we're kind of in the right place, so.
Are you proud of your country?
No. But, I mean, there's not really much for me to be proud of. I've only been here for 23 years and able to affect things that happen here for approximately 0 years. So, there's not really much to be proud of. There's nothing that I can do about it.
In your opinion, are there things that can make this country better?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
A lot of things need to be destroyed so that new things can get created. You can't go into the future with past ideas.
Have you done any volunteer work?
Volunteer work, yeah. I used to work at Planned Parenthood.
Have you ever bought lottery tickets?
I bought one when I turned 18. Or is it 21? Whatever year you're able to buy them, bought one.
Can you tell us more about the Planned Parenthood experience?
Planned Parenthood experience, yeah. I taught sex ed to middle school and high school students inside of my area in replacement of their normal sex ed teacher, because giving people a better education for that type of stuff is much better than just giving them scare tactics, as well as people retain information from those that look like them and are around the same age group that understand what's happening inside of the culture for that age group or whatever the group may be, a lot better than they do from, say, a 67-year-old white male or like married female, you know? Like, if you're teaching 13-year-olds, you want somebody that's more inside of that teenage age bracket, or at least in their 20s at the very highest.
Do you like any politicians?
No. Zero.
Do you have any long-term plans for your life?
Long-term plans, live a long life. That's pretty much it.
Do you plan on having any children?
In this economy? No.
Why?
This economy is horrible, man.
What makes it so bad?
If you can't provide for your kids, then you probably shouldn't have kids. And that's just my opinion on it. What makes it so bad? You could describe it as the companies, the corporate political landscape. You could describe it as the people that are in power. You could describe it as the lack of free will that everyday citizens have. There's a lot of things. Also, the entire rights movement, people trying to impede on, you know, your constitutional rights, your free speech. Like, I don't want kids inside of this crap.
Do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves, not really. That like thing that annoys me, I think that's like, all right, pet peeves. People getting angry at things that are very temporary. It's like the only major pet peeve I have. Like, if you're mad at somebody and like, if you're in traffic and you're like, beep, 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 get the fuck out of my way. Like, shut up, you know? Only pet peeve, really. We're waiting inside of a line at Starbucks and you're like, hey, I'm waiting for my caramel frappuccino with extra ice or whatever the heck. It's like, yo, chill out because there's 15 people here too.
When it comes to your best friends in school, have you kept in touch?
No.
Why?
Different life routes. Sometimes people are just there for the moment, and that's okay. You can always reconnect. Just don't lose complete contact.
Can you describe your first job?
First job was at Subway. I think. First actual on-paper job, Subway. Eat Fresh. 2016.
What do you fear?
What do I fear? God? but also not really.
Alright, just stop.
It just stopped.